It's hard to believe, but it's been over 40 years since Elvis died. Elvis, no last name needed, legendary singer and movie star. According to most credible sources, he died of heart failure on August 16, 1977. But it didn't take long after his funeral for the rumors to start. Elvis wasn't really dead, it was whispered, but instead he had faked his own death. These rumors continued in spite of the coroner's report that showed heart failure had killed the 42-year-old superstar. And everyone had seen pictures of the fat, bloated, prematurely aging superstar. So although his death was shocking, no one was really surprised. But the rumors persisted. If Elvis had faked his own death, the first question was why? He was a man that arguably had everything: fame, money, women, millions of adoring fans. Why would he fake his own death? The reason was clear, at least to his most devoted fans. He wanted privacy and an end to all of the intrusions on his personal space. He was constantly hounded by fans and the media 24 hours a day, and the media was not kind to the king. They published stories of his sordid lifestyle of alcohol, drugs, and women. Always included was an unflattering photo of the king looking fat and slovenly. For the benefit of those of you that have been living in a cave your entire life, let's do a quick refresh on the phenomenon that was and is Elvis Presley. Born in January 1935, Elvis was the second of identical twins, the first of which was stillborn. His parents were very poor and had a two-room house in Tupelo, Mississippi. He was known as a trashy kid that liked to play hillbilly songs on his guitar. He had no training and couldn't read music. All of his songs were played by ear. After his family moved to Memphis, he started to hang around the infamous Beale Street music scene. He loved blues and spiritual music and spent most of his free time on Beale Street listening and learning. After several failures in trying to get a recording contract, and also being rejected as a vocalist in local bands, he took a job driving truck. One of the record companies he had auditioned for was Sun Records, headed by executive Sam Phillips. Sam had once said, "If I could find a white guy that could do the black sound, I could make $1 billion." At that time, racism was still very strong in the music business, and promoting black artists was difficult. Phillips thought that Elvis could perhaps pull it off, so he gave him a shot. The rest is history. Famous for his wild dancing, gyrating hips, and bluesy sound, Elvis became a superstar. He appeared on the most important TV shows of the time, such as Ed Sullivan and Steve Allen's Tonight Show. This helped propel him into the stratosphere of fame. Here are just some of Elvis's achievements. He had more than 150 albums and singles that were either gold, platinum, or multi-platinum. He still holds the record for the most top 40 hits, which was 114. He had 3 Grammys. He starred in 31 movies. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Gospel Hall of Fame, the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, the Memphis Hall of Fame, and was also awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But perhaps his most impressive achievement was that he was bestowed the title of the undisputed king of rock and roll. So let's get back to what did or did not happen in August 1977. According to the coroner's report, 42-year-old Elvis Presley died of heart failure in his bathroom at Graceland on August 16, 1977. But it didn't take long after his funeral for the rumors to start that Elvis wasn't really dead. The speculation was mainly that he faked his own death and went into hiding. He isn't the first star that met an early death and then conspiracy theories popped up. After the deaths of stars like James Dean and more recently Michael Jackson and Prince, speculation raged like wildfire. But with Elvis, the stories took on a life of their own. People began reporting that they saw Elvis in a variety of different places all over the world. Some of the sightings were pretty commonplace, but others were very bizarre. Here are some examples of the Elvis sightings over the past 40 years. In 1977, he was spotted at the Memphis airport buying a ticket to Buenos Aires. Also in 1977, he was seen at a Georgia gas station filling up his Cadillac. Then, in the late 80s in Kalamazoo, Michigan, he was seen at a Burger King eating Whoppers. Then, in 1985 in Florida, he was spotted eating at McDonald's. Are we sensing a theme? Then probably one of his most famous sightings was in 1990, where he was seen as an extra in the blockbuster film Home Alone. Even though there's been a lot of research and debunking of this sighting, there's really still a lot of people that believe he was truly in that movie. Then, in 1996 in London, he was seen eating at the Taste of Raj Curry House while dressed in a tracksuit. Then, in 2001 in Pennsylvania, he was spotted as a strip club performer wearing only a thong and blue suede shoes. And here's my personal favorite. In 2001 in Vancouver, he supposedly stole a bucket of KFC chicken while on rollerblades. And that gives a whole new meaning to fast food. Then in 2016, he was spotted in Memphis as a groundskeeper at Graceland. A number of these sightings have been reported where he has supposedly been seen at his old home. But I'm liking his work ethic since he would have been in his 80s at that time. And beyond the sightings, there were the conspiracy theories. One of the most popular theories about Elvis's death was that he was forced to flee from his ties to the mafia. There was a 1988 best-selling book titled Elvis is Alive that investigated FBI documents around the time of his death and for several years afterwards, and concluded that he was forced into the Witness Protection Program. According to the author, Gail Brewer Giorgio, the FBI hired Presley as an undercover agent in 1976 to help investigate a criminal organization known as the Fraternity. Elvis reportedly volunteered to help the FBI since he had dealt with members of the fraternity that were involved in the sale of an airplane to Presley. But things got hot when he was discovered as a mole by the organization, and according to the author, he had no choice but to be accepted into the Witness Protection Program. Of course, the FBI denies the story. The files released around that time had no mention of any undercover assignments that involved Presley. And another author, Patrick Lacey, denies there was any such investigation. In his book, Elvis Decoded, which debunks all of the conspiracy theories, Lacey reported he reviewed all of the documents and couldn't find any reference to Presley working for the FBI. But conspiracy believers say that the FBI destroyed the documents that Brewer Giorgio reviewed, and Lacey was paid to keep the whole story under wraps. So, what's the truth? Did Elvis really die in August 1977 as reported and widely believed? Or instead, did he buy a ticket at the Memphis airport and fly to Argentina? Honestly, it's far more likely that he just died of a heart attack, as the coroner reported. After all, he had a myriad of health issues and reportedly a serious drug habit. Still, there are hundreds of people that truly believe they saw Elvis after his death. Is it possible he is still alive today? Stranger things have happened. You will have to decide for yourself.